In this very personal and powerful big talk, Linda Mitchell, Speaker Salon alum, is going to share her personal story on growth and learning to not care what other people think. Enjoy this big talk.
I'm a fitness competitor. I'm a lifter. I'm strong for a living. And I have achieved some of my most important accomplishments at 60. And still, I felt like nothing was enough. I am not enough. When I was 8, my mother was hospitalized with severe depression. I didn't understand what was going on or why. It was a very unsettling time for me. During this time, my first grade teacher, Mrs. Sharon, would drive me home from school each day, and my grandmother would take over from there and make me my favorite supper. She really became a role model and more like a mother to me. My mom finally came home from being hospitalized, and they had given her many shock treatments, which greatly affected her memory. I thought she had been replaced with an alien because she wasn't acting like my mom. So one day I put it to the test, and I asked her, could I have the colored pencils and crayons? They were meant for her Sunday school class. The answer would usually be no, but she said yes. I felt incredibly guilty knowing that was not something that she would want. While my mom was ill, I was left alone a lot with my grandfather, whom I idolized, and I lapped up his attention. One day, my grandfather began tickling me, and he said, "Let's play a game." That was no game. My innocence was robbed. When evening fell, I decided to tell my dad. I cried and cried. We never spoke about it again. A secret of sorts. That would rear its ugly head for decades to come. We never hung out again one-on-one, but he sat at every holiday table. When I was in high school, I looked into my mother's eyes and I knew all was not well. Being a child in an unstable environment, you learn to be attuned to everybody's emotions for survival. When I came home that afternoon, my mom had tried to take her life. I couldn't enter the home. When I got home, the bloody details would just never leave me. I was to sweep that under the rug and go on like nothing ever happened. In this environment of instability, instinctively, I recognized I needed to be strong. This is a big reason why I was drawn to fitness at an early age. It was my lifeline ever since. By accident, I found working out is nature's best antidepressant. I have always relied heavily on my physicality and lived a lifelong career in fitness and fitness competitions. Unfortunately, my physical strength was put to the test. I began tearing all the muscles from my pelvis. First, it was my hamstring. It had to be reattached with surgery. Then it was my other hamstring, 7 months out from that. And then it was my groin from the pelvis. I was stubborn. I wanted to keep going. I even competed with a fully blown hamstring. Being strong is all I knew. However, I had to surrender. Was God trying to tell me something? When I was flat on my back and unable to do a thing, I wondered, who could I be without my strong body? Who would I be without my coping mechanism of being strong? Then it hit me. I'm more than my body and what I can do. Recently, I was sharing with my mom my news clips and my champion fitness routine, and I asked her, or I actually just said, Mom, look, I was an insider, Thrive Global, Authority Magazine, and on Bold TV. And she said, so? Then I shared with her the success of my business. It was met with disbelief and judgment. Then it hit me like a lightning bolt. I had been killing myself for her approval. This is the first time I recognized why I had such a need for achievement. My healing had begun, but I was not done. I have spent a lifetime trying to prove my worth to my mom, be approved, be seen, be heard, be valued, be recognized, and just know that I am valuable. I think that's why my mission replicates those very things. As I was writing my talk, I looked in my journal, and the word value came up 88 times. When I was going for Times Square billboards and a cover of a magazine, these questions crept up every time. Am I smart enough? Am I strong enough? Am I pretty enough? Am I fit enough? I had to reestablish my value each time, knowing that we're valuable, knowing that you are, knowing that I am. I want you to know today that you are valuable. You are not what has happened to you, and nobody can take away your worth. We are valuable, even if nobody else recognizes our value. We must recognize our own value. I am capable. I am strong. I am valuable. I am loved. I am worthy. I was enough before I lifted one finger. I'm enough, and so are you.
If you enjoyed this big talk, I would love to hear what your biggest takeaways were in the comments so we can fully support you. And if you desire to be on my big stage, head on over to thespeakersalon.com so that you can apply to come to New York City and take my stage where I will support you for 6 weeks. And remember, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, go ahead and hit the notification and subscription button so that you get access to all of our recent videos. Remember, your voice matters. Big love. Mwah.